we're doing some of these songs, I'm going to take a break and I'm just going to share with you what worship is all about, what your worship means to you, what your worship means to God, and ways that you can put yourself in a situation, ways that you can put yourself in a position to worship God in a way that's pleasing to Him, in a way that will allow you to express yourself. The first thing I want to do tonight is to talk to you about three main aspects of worship. The three main aspects of worship that we're going to go over tonight are simply declaration, declaring who God is to you, declaring what God means to you, declaring what is it about God that makes Him worth worshiping. The second thing that we're going to talk about, that we're going to go through is letting Him know how much we love Him, how much we adore Him. The adoration stage of worship, just bringing Him praise and adoration. And then lastly, we're going to take the opportunity to completely and totally surrender in this place and surrender our hearts and our lives to Him. We're going to start off just by declaring who God is tonight. This song that we're going to do just talks about how holy God is. And this song is taken directly from the scripture out of Isaiah chapter 6. And Isaiah walks into the temple and he has this vision of him walking into the temple and seeing God face to face in the temple.
First singing, and then you go find the song.
And this song is just a representation of that vision. And it's a declaration of how holy God is. And tonight we're going to take the opportunity to sing about that. So what I want you to do is I want you to listen to the words of these songs. Listen to the word of this song in specific and see the way that Isaiah describes how he felt when he came into that temple in his vision. Stages. There was the outer court where the general people, the general congregation could come into, and they could stand out. It's kind of like a place for people to hang out and congregate. And then the stages got smaller and smaller as they went into the temple. And only the priests who went through a cleansing ritual and a sacrifice where they would shed the blood of an animal. Only the priests that had been cleansed could come into the presence of God, into the most holy place. Only that priest could come into that place and worship God and speak to God face to face in there. Because if a person who went into that place who was unclean, who hadn't been through the purification or the cleansing, would come into a place, the presence of God would be so overwhelming that they would die instantly in the presence of God. And Isaiah, when he's in this situation, he realized that he was a person that hadn't went through that purification ritual. He wasn't a person who had made a sacrifice for his sin, who had been cleansed, who had went in and washed themselves. And this is what he said. Woe is me.
Where's that? You got Romans me on there?
For I am unclean. My eyes have seen the Holy King. And he cleans my lips. Right before my eyes. The pillar shook.
It was right there.
And the angels cried. Come on, just declare to the Lord in this place that He is holy. It says in Exodus chapter 34, verse 8, that at once Moses fell to the ground and worshiped God. In Psalms 96, verse 9, it says, bow before the beauty of God, then to your knees everyone worship. Job chapter 1, verse 20. Job was a man who had abundance in life. And God allowed all that stuff to be stripped away from his life. He lost his family, he lost his finances, he lost his health. He lost everything that was important to him. And in the midst of all that loss, it said Job got to his feet. He ripped his robe on their face and worshiped God. So I want to encourage you tonight during this time of worship. We're taking this opportunity to declare who God is.
Leave it there.
I dare you and challenge you to begin to worship like the people who had an encounter with God did. They would fall on their knees and worship God. We're going to sing that chorus one more time. I want to challenge you and encourage you
Go to the blue.
to right now, just wherever you are, make a place where you can bow on your knees and worship God, forgetting about everything else that's going on around you. Just imagine Job in the midst of losing everything in his life. if you're on